Good evening. Welcome back to another episode of It's a Football Thing. Tonight is the night. It's here. Barbs have been thrown, videos have been made, the sevens have assembled. It's the 7th of March. My man from the football capital is here. This is probably the textbook definition of a love-hate relationship. But Borce, good to have you on. His channel is tagged in the description. If you are living under a rock and you haven't subbed already, tell you what, there's plenty of good entertainment. Let's just put it that way. Make sure you tune in. Borch, how you going, my man? Let's just get the formalities out of the way first.
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Healthy. Can't say happy, but definitely healthy as can be. Yeah, not too bad, Scott. I'm not too bad. You know, I've had better days, but, we get up, we move on, and we go to fight another day.
That's it, man. Literally. And you know what? You kind of think about it. This is the beauty of football. It's fine margins, man. I was talking last night how for me it was an Arsenal come from behind last minute win against Bournemouth. MacArthur Bulls almost blew a 2-goal lead. Last second come from behind win. So it's fine margins between, man, football being ecstasy and football being the pits of hell. Yeah. But last night I couldn't help but notice, and of course we're going to have to get into your game. All right, because when records are set in these kinds of rivalries, you got to talk about it, whether people like it or not. But you seem a little bit upset in the chat. You wanted the link. We're already 30 minutes into a stream. I'm like, no, I'm not opening this Pandora's box. But I don't hide. I don't run. I don't hide. I put my chest out. I was beefing with RJ today. Why always me? Everyone wants a piece at the moment. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to give Borce his piece. He seemed a little bit upset. Tell me why I rattled you so much.
I don't know. I don't even know why. And you always find a way. You always find a way to rattle me. You know what I mean? You have to drop a comment. But next time, just say my name because we already know. Like you can name drop. It's all right. You can name drop.
You got me today with Steve. I noticed my name came out. This is not the first time either. It's almost like a bad breakup, Borch. I noticed it came out. You've got a friend. I'm shocked. But
he's always in my corner, mate. He's always in my corner, mate. But look, I didn't even know, mate. I get rattled easily. And you know what it is? Let me tell you one thing. And whoever watches this now and whoever watches it back, you know when you say, oh, we're living rent-free or Liverpool's living rent-free in your head or Arsenal fans are living rent-free. If rival fans are not living rent-free in your head, you don't love your football club as much as you say you do. I'll tell you that for a fact. Of course, Liverpool, that even forget about the scoreline yesterday. Like
you can't.
Their fans, that football club to achieve anything. It's been hell. Forget about the last weekend, but just the last couple of years, just to watch them and the things that they've been doing at that club. Even though in the last 10 years we've both won the same amount of Premier League titles in the last 10 years, us and Liverpool, their best period. But still, we move, and like, mate. You always find a way to grind. You know, when you squeeze that towel and you just keep going, you're trying to find that last drop. And then to not give me the link, they just made me crack it.
I put it last night. Come on, man. You know, it's live. We're 30 minutes in. We've been keeping the content short. But you know what? Again, I don't run and I don't hide. You're here now. You said I rattled you up. I want to talk about a couple of things first, and feel free to jump in as you see fit. For me, like you said, if your rivals are not in your head, you don't love football. And there are levels to this game. There's levels of hate depending on who the rival is. For example, Manchester United ruined many of my years growing up. I hate your club probably more than I hate Spurs. Yeah, I respect your club, but it's a hate-filled respect because you're a threat. We grew up competing for titles, competing for dominance, Fergie, Wenger, Invincibles, trebles. That's why this hatred's going to run deep. But I got the impression from you that you didn't like the fact that rival fans were enjoying it. When I have to say, in all seriousness, if that result's flipped, let's say Liverpool, maybe not Liverpool because you hate them, let's say that Chelsea get pumped 7-0 by an opposition team, you're not going to enjoy that?
So everyone's different, bro. Everyone banters and stuff their own different ways. If Arsenal lose, how many times have Liverpool lost this season? You haven't
They're
seen me on the
hopeless, man. Everyone kind of gave up on that, but now you guys have awakened the beast.
Even with Chelsea now, no one like. Well, what is that? 1 win in 14 or 2 wins now if you include the leads in 16 games. They ended up winning, but no one's really talking about them. It's just kind of brush them under the carpet. Yeah, look, they can't even score. But once it's United, right, we are the most hated club in the world, right? Everyone was a Geordie last weekend. Everyone wanted Newcastle to win. Couldn't wait for us to slip up and lose the final. Yeah, fair enough. Everyone's waited. Everyone's waited for United to drop them points. Rival fans have thrown United in a title race just so when we drop points or we lose a game, they can say, United fans, they thought they were in a title race. That's my whole issue. It's not even the game that we got pumped. It's more other fans and all these fans saying that we're in a title race when we never were in a title race.
What do you mean you were never in a title race?
Mathematically, Tottenham and Chelsea are in a title race mathematically, but in reality, we're not. We're just not the team. I even said it.
You've got 39 points. 39 points left to play for this season.
Yeah, but in reality, Scotty, we are not as good as Arsenal. We are not as good as Man City. We are not as consistent. It's been better in terms of we've been consistent in our performances, okay? But it's not like Arsenal and Man City. Man City, to an extent, I know they haven't had the best of seasons, but you look at Arsenal, win, lose, or draw, the same energy, the same patterns, like just the goals that they're scoring, that you 2-0 down, no worries, we're just going to go win the game. I don't care what, 92nd, 93rd, 96th minute, we're here to win it. We're not that team yet. And I've been calling it from the start. I even said after the Villa game, I'm like, look, we're going to get these results again. United will get, okay, I didn't think 7. All right. That one was a bit of
look, I don't think your most delusional Liverpool fan thought that they were going to bang you for 7. But they did, and you got to hold it.
Yeah, I always said, okay, look, there's going to be in this transitional period where Ten Hag is trying things out. Our squad is, we don't got the depth as we maybe thought we did. We do have a few injuries and all that sort of stuff, so that doesn't help. But I said we're gonna lose games 4-1, 3 or 3-1 or 4-2, them kind of games, even against the smaller teams. And I guarantee you, from now to the end of the season, there'll be a game. Maybe I don't know. Maybe who we got? Maybe an Everton. Maybe they can turn us over, and there will be games like that because we're just in that stage now of, all right, we're trying different things out. I don't like to use the excuse of 3 games a week and it's killing us. And it has really the last like 5 games.
We're all going to be in the same boat.
Yeah, I know, but it's been like cup finals for us. Barcelona twice. We got Leicester. It was a must win against Leicester. And even prior to that, when we were versing Crystal Palace, then we had Arsenal, then Palace again, and then the 2 games with Leeds. If we didn't concede to Palace and then held off for a draw against Arsenal, you could say, well, at that time we could have been put in the conversation for a title race. But it wasn't the case. Everyone wants to put us in a title race. Everyone was waiting to get their TikToks ready and say, look, Man United, and the one time this season that Martinez slipped over, he's turned him. Salah has turned him. Look, I thought this guy was the best centre back in the league and all this sort of stuff. And it's all nonsense for your 2-second, 15-second TikToks, right? And it just
bring some of this on yourselves. So like, let's be real for a sec. All this talk, there's been so much talk this season. Everyone shit talks about their own club. Yeah, everyone wants to talk up their players. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But your fans have been relentless. From when Martinez won the World Cup, and he's a good player. He just had a really shit game. Yeah, Casemiro, like world's best DM. Is there a DM that's better than him in the whole world? Like, when you're going to keep throwing out that kind of talk, you almost set the benchmark. And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking fans in general. But you're setting that bar up for yourselves. You're setting yourself up to fail.
Things like that, like Casemiro, you told me someone that is a better defensive midfielder than him. Like
I would say in the league this season, just in terms of a midfielder, I would say Thomas Partey has been as good.
Yeah, no one's saying. I know there's the whole comparisons between them two, but just in general, you look at his accolades and all right, not even what he's done with United. look, he I think he score the winning goal in the Super Cup. Then he played for United. So
he's a
and then,
machine.
yeah.
But
So
when
you
your
can't say that
your
he's not.
fans, like, you got to count
It
like
happens. It
United
happens.
trade.
It happens every time. It happens every time, right? Martinez and people were saying Saliba was the best centre back this season, and
He
he's
hasn't
looked
even been
underwhelming.
our best centre back this season. It's been
Would he-
Gabriel
but yeah,
Magalhaes.
everyone does that as well.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
fan, I get that. Every fan does that. Look, yes, it was a bad day at the office yesterday, 100%. But yeah, you could say there's like the fans that you're talking about. You got to call them out. Say this, like these profiles on Twitter, Red Devil till I die. You know them ones.
United trade kills me.
Not,
He kills me.
I don't know who. See, this is why I'm not on there, Scotty. This is why I'm not on there. And that Twitter and TikTok, it's like the T's. Any social media with a T, even YouTube's, is on that route too. Because some of the things that I see on there as well, like it's either for a reaction, or that 15 seconds of fame, and that's what it is. But a lot of the time, yeah, we do G each other up, and you got to put a lot of it into context as well. When you came to me, like I said, everyone waited for United to drop points. They put us in a title race.
We hate you.
Come on, like I saw you the last stream or last week or whatever. Come on, Robbie, you guys are in a title race. You guys are.
You're still there, man.
But technically, in reality, we are not. Come on, you know this.
Yeah, but you know what will happen though? This is where you get into trouble.
You can't tell me you're gonna drop 4 games, United's going to win the rest of the game, and then we're going to win the league. It's like that is to me a title.
If we lose Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey, we're screwed. We're up the creek without a paddle. This is what I'm saying. 12 games left.
I didn't think your boys will be where they are at the moment.
No, I didn't.
Even though so many Jesus out. Here we go. Arsenal are going to flop. Guess what? You're still up there. Oh, this player is not a party's not playing today. You still get the result. Okay, it wasn't the best performance. You can see that how much.
Who cares about the performance? You want the result though, right?
Exactly. Especially in the tough games that you struggle to win. Let's just say, like remember the Leeds game that I don't know. I can't remember if Party was playing, but games like Leeds that you had, and there's a few other ones. Like get them out of the way and see you later. Let's not talk about this. We got the 3 points. Things like that happen.
Do you think we're on the verge of the glory days of the Premier League coming back? Like City have been a powerhouse and they are a powerhouse, but they're not really like theirs and Liverpool's rivalry at the top. Man, that was friendly. That's how I spend time with my missus. It was that nice. Like there was nothing in that. Arsenal and United, when they were both at the top, there was hate there, and I think that made for the best viewing. I think we're a season away, if not this season, because you might write United off, it's a good thing for you to write them off because then you're safe. And I'm guilty of doing this. All they can do then is surpass your expectations. You can say they're not in a title race. Then if they won the title by some miracle, you're like, yeah, man, we did it. There's no risk for you there. But it's probably the same reason I won't say we're going to win it.
Yeah, but there's a more of a chance Arsenal would. So if I keep telling Steve, at what point do you think they are actually going to win the league? He's not saying it on the stream.
If we have 5 points left,
I asked him off camera, right? So this is exclusive, behind the scenes. I go, Steve, let's be honest, Arsenal can win it, yeah? And he's like, yes. You guys believe, but for us, and even for me, if some miracle happens, of course I'm going to celebrate it. But I just don't think that even when the gap was 5 points, and you guys had still a game in hand, or 8 points with the game, whatever it was, I just still didn't think that we had enough. Just with the plays that we have, with the injuries that, like Eriksen now's gone, maybe we would have had a chance if we won some of the other games. Leeds, Crystal Palace, there's 4 points there. Let's just say another point. The 3 points exactly, 2 more points to Palace there. The Arsenal, if we jagged a point there, that means 2 points off you guys. Then you can say, yeah, we're in some sort of race, but I just think it's too early. We don't have the bottle. The players, you can see how they capitulate after. And this was my whole worry the whole time. This whole season, we scored first. A lot of the games we've been winning, we've been scoring first. My initial thing was we need to see how we're going to respond when we go behind. And I think we had to wait till the City game. If Okay, Everton was one, but I think the City game where we really responded. This game now just shows why we're not ready. We're not ready with these players. We're not ready with this team at the moment. Yeah,
Is your hope then? Because look, I put my chest out at the start of the season. I said my minimum expectation. You'd remember it. We did it on your preview. Was Arsenal in the Champions League, whether in the top four or we win the Europa. I don't care which one. If we make that, great. To answer Emad's question, if there are 5 games left and we're still 5 points clear, I'll start to feel really confident. But I was really confident last season we were going to make the top 4.
yeah,
And
but
then we
even
saw
with
what
5
happened when the
points,
pressure was turned up. Like,
yeah, if it's 5 points with 5 games,
I'm
and Arsenal
confident.
fans don't want to say we're going to win the league, that's fine because we know what City can do, and these players have never been in that position ever, right? The previous Arsenal teams, yeah, down to the wire, they've been there, they've done that, but not this team. So I understand if Arsenal 100%. Fans are a bit worried. That's no one's saying you have to say you're going to win the league and like to cover. And I'm not saying that we're not in a title race to cover myself up. This is what I actually believe, right? My expectations this season, and even for you, like your expectations, Champions League, and what'd you say, Europa, was it?
No, my minimum expectation to keep Arteta was that in the next season, we're in the Champions League. I don't care how we got there.
But now, in the position
my minimum expectation has changed.
Exactly, and it has to. For me, I said third. I said it on your stream, and you gave me the little eye roll, and where do you getting third with Ten Hag? Who's this guy, and all this stuff.
What did I say on yours? I can't remember my preseason prediction for United. You're the clip king. Do you remember?
Yeah, I think I don't know if I don't think you had us in the top 4. From what I remember.
don't know, maybe 4th. Maybe Robbie remembers. I know he's in the chat. But look, let's
I said third, and a trophy. I said Europa League. We've already ticked 1 trophy off the list, and I think now after this result, the only way the players can apologize is not by tweet, not by social media, is to solidify third. Make sure third is yours, and make sure it's yours by a country mile. Yeah. And also FA Cup and Europa. You need to go out there and get 3 trophies. Otherwise, this result, is not acceptable. Yeah, we can wave it off and we can say, okay, it was a day off, but now they need to step up. Now they need to say, that's the only way for me they can apologize. Because I'll tell you this, I backed the team. I backed the manager. The manager has done well. He's done fantastic. And like I was someone that was calling for this manager before anyone else. People wanted Conte. People wanted Pot. People wanted Zidane. I go, no. I even said get Ralph in. They got Ralph in. Even I didn't want him as a manager, obviously, but upstairs. Even Edwin van der Sar got a little bit greedy, but Ten Hag, I wanted him in, right? He's done fantastic. Yesterday, he got it wrong. Completely wrong. The blame has to go on him as well. It's not Ten Hag out or anything, but he put the players out there, the formation that he had set out, the players that he picked, 3-0 down. You're attacking with 7 players, thinking like, okay, we might get back into it like we did against Manchester City. You know what? It wasn't the case. It could have been damage limitation, could have stayed 3-0, could have been at 4-0 at least, but not 7. So he's someone to blame as well. But
I blame your players first and foremost. Just to kind of wrap up my final thoughts on that result. If I was a Manchester United fan, the worst part for that would be that it exposed something that a lot of people thought was done. Like everyone kind of thought that your squad had really matured and the mentality had sharpened. When the going got tough and you kind of know at 3-0, Liverpool have won the game, I saw a lot of heads drop. Yeah. I saw a lot of heads drop. Bruno, who for me, polarizing figure.
You know what though? Everyone's giving
captain. You've got to.
Yeah, but you know what? Bruno does that every week, but people want to pull it up today because it's 7-0. How come no one's pulling? No one's pulling up.
You asked Robbie. I said the other week, Bruno's not a big game player,
and I said on my channel, and I've been saying it for a little while. I go, I'm worried for Bruno in this team. I think, he could be given the captain's armband because Maguire is not even to be seen on the bench. But if we go back in for Frankie de Jong in the summer and we end up getting him, I worry that Bruno Fernandes could be on the bench or possibly out the door. To have your player that's been playing in that 10 role, to shift him out on the left and then out on the right, trying to hide him because he makes so many mistakes in the center, that's going to be worrying for him. And I think if he gets someone in like Frankie de Jong, then hey, it could be curtains for him. But like, and I know people give him a lot of stick because he loses a lot of balls. When Sanchez played for us, he turned over the ball so many times. Yeah, Sanchez turned over the ball so many times, but he played the risky balls. It was the risky balls for that Sanchez played. So Kevin De Bruyne, Messi lose the ball or don't complete their passes the most in Europe. Why? Because they're the creative players. But Bruno, he whips them to no one.
It's the Mesut Ozil effect, Borce. Mesut Ozil had all these things you're talking about, but his body language was atrocious. He had such bad body language that I as an Arsenal fan couldn't stand him. I'm not one of these people that worshipped at the church of Mesut Ozil. You ask my mates, even when we signed him, the day we signed him and Arsenal fans were wetting their pants, I said, this is a luxury signing. It's not what we needed. Why are Madrid letting him come to Arsenal? Why is he leaving Real Madrid for Arsenal? He wasn't a signing I ever wanted. And his body language to me drove me nuts. I think Bruno Fernandes is a victim of his body language being so awful.
Yeah. Look, and especially if there's no return on that, you know, you can be throwing your arms around and pointing fingers and all that. But if there's no goals, like goals and assists covers that up. He's not doing that as much this season, right? But look at someone that we had in the past, like Berbatov. His body language, even Martial, body language is horrible. But at least even with Berbatov, there was output there, so no one really cared. But now, yeah, and of course the pundits and all that. You got Gary Neville. Gary Neville, he's starting to get even on my nerves a little bit as well, because he's just throwing his 2 cents in whenever he can. Hardly makes any sense. And Arsenal get another win, and he still goes, no. He makes excuses for why they're can't win the league because it's a young squad and it's this and it's that. Like there's always excuses from these even ex-United pundits. Just they're lately and even the past couple of years, some of the shit that they say is like, I don't know where they're getting that from. But Bruno, he's been like this all year, man. Honestly, he's been like this all year. But it's not just him. You look at players in this game, like there's no who's taking responsibility, who's taking leadership of going 1-0, 2-0 down, 3-0, 4-0. Like it's all over. And bro, this is why, yeah. And no offense to anyone in the comments that went to the preseason tour, bro. These guys had the worst season of United's history. These players. Right? These players. I'm this, quietly chanting, you're not fit to wear the shirt, but people want to get signatures. But these are the guys that let this club down, bro. I know people have their, take pictures with the players and take, like, I understand that. I do.
It's once in a lifetime, though, man. We don't get that chance every week.
But this is what I mean. People get starstruck, but then the next week that you want to talk shit about them. Bro, run with the same energy. They're not good enough. Half these players are not good enough. All right, I'm not taking like McTominay. He had nothing to do with him yesterday. And like, look how shit just fell for Liverpool. He makes a good tackle. He goes straight to their player, bobbles off him. Then he hits him again and forces the Salah and they score. Things like that. Like, it's just everything fell for Liverpool. But like players like Scott McTominay, like he's not going to be at the club much longer. And then even Bruno is it's actually
worrying. I'd cash in on Bruno. If you can get De Jong, sell Bruno, get money for him while he's got some stock, and cash in.
Yeah, like you've got to make big calls. These players always had that bottle in them, and we noticed that from last season. I get people once in a lifetime opportunity. I get that, but someone like me, Scotty, I couldn't care less. I don't care. You guys, Bruno, Sancho, all these players that signed for us in the last couple of seasons. Look at all the interviews. I'm here to win trophies. The fans deserve trophies. Go do it then. Enough with your tweets. Enough with your apologies. Go do it. You want to we signed a new contract, all this mega money. Go do it. Where are your trophies to put next to your goals and assists and your sorry and apology tweets? It's not good enough from the team. And half this team now, who knows who the casualties are going to be from this result, but it can't happen again. Not at this club, bro. But yeah, if we move away from this game, we fucking had enough. But yeah, man, it's me. My frustration is more the rival fans coming at me when Liverpool lose. That's not my team. I don't directly message anyone. When Arsenal lose, I didn't message you when you guys lost to Man City, did I?
You should have.
Yeah, but for me, that's not my team. I couldn't care less. I couldn't like you lost. That's your problem. That's something you to deal with. That's not how I do it. That's not how. And anyone that knows me, mate, if you lose, you lose. Yeah, you lost. None of my business. But then when people are coming to just waiting, they waited. Scotty, you guys waited. You wanted us to win the cup. Then we were 1-0 down to West Ham, 80th minute. Oh no, United, they couldn't back it up.
Getting excited.
Getting the drafts were ready. We came back. We ended up winning it, and everyone got their moment. Half these Liverpool content creators came back out of retirement and restarted their channels. They couldn't find their logins. They're all back there logging in, trying to find their password, and now they're all back. Well, good to see you. Well, guess what? Like we said at the start, United ruined everyone's childhood, and we're gonna ruin your adulthood. And you feel sorry for you.
We'll have to wait and see, man. But you know what?
We can clip that one up on here, and you can clip that one, and you can.
We put ourselves out here, every week on our channels. We put ourselves out. There's rivalry, there's banter, shit chat, and this is just part and parcel of it, man. I take the hate as a respect. There's been a lot of talk about Arsenal this season. It's a lot of hatred coming our way where we're relevant again, and that's what? That's part of the fear. Yeah, I fear Manchester United's resurgence. I don't want to see any success at your club, and I fear next season that you are going to be right up there fighting for a title under an excellent manager.
We better be.
With a really good squad.
And we better be. Next year, on the preview of the season, I'm going to be saying United need to be in the title race. There's no losing 2 games at the start of the season, then playing catch-up. None of that. Because we've got the manager, right? He's shown that he's improved players. There is a system.
Got the spine.
We've got the spine. We're gonna spend again, but if you look at his signings, they haven't. People can question Anthony, can question Weghorst. There is an argument to be made on them.
Anthony.
Yeah, and bro, I was saying before we even signed him, I'd rather get Gakpo than Anthony because he suits us more, and I think Anthony probably would have suited Liverpool a bit more. You know what I mean? And I was saying to everyone that Gakpo hasn't scored. I go, he's a decent player. He's a good player. Just wait, give him time. But overall, the signings that he's made, they haven't been bad, right? So you trust him with the scouting department to bring in better players, and we better be in the mix. There's no at this point next year 10 points. No. It's either we're top of the tree or just behind 1 point, 2 points behind. There's none of this. Not like it won't be acceptable. I don't even care that it's 2 years into Ten Hag's, whatever if you want to call it a process and all that. But yeah, that's what it's going to be for United for United next season. But yeah, man, for me it's all about these fans. Like you look at they want to put us in the title race. You look at Born Offside, because they're gonna get it too. All year they don't want to spend 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
They're coming for our other friends too. Come on, man.
Bro, they came 30. United win the cup. Yeah, Mickey Mouse Cup, whatever you want to call it. But their teams were in it last season. One of their teams won it last season, and they had an open bus parade for that trophy last season. They got 30 seconds. United win the cup, blah, blah, blah. Now today's title, Born Offside, United out of the title race. We're never in one. I like that your thumbnail creator should get sacked in the morning. Let's not just do this for the clicks.
That's what we've got to do, man. You've got to be. There's got to be that edge. It's got to be. The title, the clicks.
Yeah, but bro, but this is what does my head in. Like Nick Stab, United. It's the stupidest thing. United fans saying they're in a title race. Next thing he says is technically they're in a title race. So you're saying you're in a title race. So who's the idiot then?
Like, you got to be careful. Man. You've had your call up, man. You've sat on there. I'm still waiting for the Scott Borg call up, man.
Bro,
they can't handle this smoke.
Yeah, well, hey, they have to cut a few pieces out of my one. So, yeah, watch out. I'm telling you, Scotty, now I'm coming for anyone that wants to chat. Hey, listen, don't at me because I'm going to be on everyone's case. Yeah.
Well, on that note.
Before we wrap it up, I know we're over the time, but this whole Glazer thing that we're going to put to bed today, yeah? We're going to put to bed today. This whole United lose, then Scotty comes out and says...
you love this.
He uses the pronouns, these, them United fans, and all these pronouns, right? But they're out. they glaze us out again. And then when we're winning, there's no mention of him. But Scotty doesn't want to mention.
Tell me what
when
don't I want to
the
mention?
final whistle went in the Carabao Cup. The final whistle went. The first thing you heard was, "We want Glazers out. We want Glazers out," the chant. Then when the trophy parade was happening and the players walked up the stairs, they pulled out the banner in front of Evan Glazer with the Glazer out. So you can't tell me it's only when we lose that the banners come out and the tweets come out. I actually went straight after you wanted to make your comment yesterday on Twitter to see if the Glazers were trending. It wasn't Glazers out that was trending. It was the Glazers. Let me click on the hashtag, Scotty. You look at through the post, you got them. You got them normal, no profiles and Glazer outs.
The eggs, the Twitter eggs. Yep.
They don't count. But the rest of the other ones, it's about the Glazer selling. It's about the Glazer selling. It's about the takeover.
Well, clearly, you want the Qatari money now. You're twerking for the Qataris. They've dangled the carrot. You're twerking away. Of course you are. Like,
this is why trending. It's not it's trending. Not because it's Glazer out, it's because people are just talking about
because you want the Qataris instead. It's like if I'm driving a BMW, I'm going to be pretty happy with that, yeah? If someone says, "Hey, man, Ferrari over here," oh, man, I'm getting rid of that BMW. I'm going to twerk for that, of course. But let me ask you a couple of questions. Because this is where the frustration comes. I don't understand. And again, you are a rare example. You're pretty stuck on this. But are you happy with the appointment of Erik ten Hag?
Absolutely.
Are you happy with the signings you've made this season overall? You're not going to love everyone, but overall, are you happy with the signings?
Absolutely.
Are you happy that ten Hag's been given a lot of trust? He hasn't been dug out. So what are you not happy about?
Yeah, but you're saying you're happy, but it's because of the Glazers that done this. You can't take...
Well, Glazers got the blame for Ollie. Why don't they get the praise for ten Hag?
It's not just 2 years of Ollie or 3 years and they got praise for his, but not for that. It's the 17 years of what they've done to this club. Just because they've had to get it right now. They had to. They have had so much people with advice. They got in Radnick, right? The perfect guy to bring in.
You said you wanted.
Yeah, but not as a manager, someone to be as a football director, someone upstairs, because he knows how to build a club. He knows it. Half these players that everyone wants to sign for the big dollars, it was him that brought them through.
What was the plan with Ralph? Interim manager, just patch the damage, then you'll go into the boardroom. He didn't want to stay.
Yeah, but why didn't he want to stay? Because he called out everything the Glazers, or he called out a lot of things what the club, exactly what Ronaldo did. But he got the big interview. All that was said by Ralph. He called out the club. He called out everything that was wrong with it in terms of the facilities, and he brought in like all these other coaches and specialists for this, for that, the fitness, for the health and everything. He brought all his guys in. He's looked at the club and goes, "What is Manchester United?" And this is how they're acting. He's called everything out. Because of that, they said left on mutual agreement. We all know when it's mutual agreement. We all know that
him to go.
That's right. So they didn't live up to their expectation, but they had to, because the dirty laundry was out. Even though we already knew a lot of the stuff by the club, they've kicked him out. They needed to get the next appointment right. Yeah. Or okay, I'll say right. No one knew if no one knows if Ten Hag's going to succeed anyway. Look, he's got one trophy.
You can safely say he's the right appointment.
Okay, but they had to get. You couldn't have Conte, someone like Conte. We all know Conte is a now manager. With these players, I don't think he could have done it. Poch was on the cards as well. Personally, I didn't think that he was the right guy. Zidane already said knock that back. So they already tried with Zidane, and he goes, "No, thank you." So you can say the Glazers appointed him. The Glazers don't even know who he was. So there's obviously people behind the scene. Ed Woodward was the first one that had to go. They got rid of him, and then whoever advised the club, let's look at Ten Hag. We weren't going to get him in December. Obviously, him and Poch wanted to stay to the end of the season, and that's when they were available to buy. That's why Ralph came in, right? One thing, yeah, you want to give credit to the owners. I give them credit for one thing and one thing only: giving Ten Hag the power with Cristiano Ronaldo, because the Glazers were not going to sell him. They weren't going to get rid of him, and we would have been in 10th with Chelsea tugging each other off.
Nah, you're not that bad. You're not as bad as them.
If Ronaldo stayed, I think it would have been a complete capitulation if that happened. They gave him the power. Yeah, give him credit. But it doesn't credit that they've taken out how much money out of the club. They haven't done anything in terms of refurbishing the club or anything like that. So just because they got few decisions right, helped by other people, it wasn't even their decision. They got told this who you should go for, right? That's why we're actually, they want us. What if it's so brilliant and they know what they're doing? Why you want to sell? Why is the club up for sale? That's another thing.
Qatari money, man. They're businessmen first and foremost.
Exactly.
And I always say this: why is it so wrong that they've made some money off your club? I'm sorry, if you go and you run a highly successful business, you're allowed to profit off that. They are business owners. They take the risk. They're allowed to profit.
There's no problem if you're making a profit.
You've never been left without. You signed Pogba on massive wages. You've bought in superstars. You bought Ronaldo back.
It's not their money, Scott. It's not their money though. So it's
their asset. Manchester United's money is their money. They're the owners. It's their asset.
If you wanna pump in a debt, if you wanna rip out a debt from the club, right? And then you put in things in place that where we've gone on and we've kept winning trophies after Fergie left. You've appointed the wrong manager after wrong. We roll Moyes out of the way because that was Ferguson's decision, right? Which was the wrong decision. But everything they've done since then, Galactico players, they put Ed Woodward in charge, who wanted these Falcaos, these Di Maries that didn't work out after 1 year. So you're blowing $1 billion from the club's money, not your money, not Abramovich money, where Abramovich put money into his club because he wanted to see the club succeed.
There are no Abramoviches out there, man.
But he's the exception. Okay, he's an exception, but owners want to come in. They put money into the club, right? For things to get better. The club, the stadium, the facilities. I don't want to even go back into this discussion about the facilities. You couldn't even put toilets for the women team. They had to go piss in the trees. How embarrassing! Manchester United, and we're doing that to the women's team. Things like that shouldn't be happening. 17 years of their ownership, and they're ripping money out of the club to give to their daughter so she can go away on holidays, couple million here, couple million there. That's not acceptable. And it doesn't come, it's not about, they got this decision right. And because Ten Hag picked Eriksen and Fernandes, Eriksen and Martinez and all these Anthony's, and they're playing well, he's got this player better, the Glazers have got it right. No, they haven't. They failed the club. They need to sell. They need to get out. With the chance happened every single game, every single time. We won the trophy. The banners were up in front of his face. Half the team, after the game, he tried to get involved. This is not the Super Bowl, mate. They're not. No one's here giving you the trophy. They lifted the Super Bowl. How embarrassing when they won it over there. He wanted, all the players walked straight past him. No one shook his hand. No one really cares, bro. This guy needs to sell. They need to go. And just because it's draining every time to be Glazers out and put posts up and all that. We've did the business. We've did the hard work, especially us in Australia. What we're going to do? I can't go to a protest. I can't. You know what I mean? For years, for 10 years, Scotty, I was buying replica kits for 10 years. No change. Do you know what I mean? But it's one of them things that it's always going to be, because when you guys lost to Man City, Edu out was trending because he didn't get the players in January to fix your squad up. And I have AFTV and troops and all that. Oh, he's having a barbecue. F your barbecue. Go sign some players. And it happens everywhere. But yeah,
you can come around. Like I use the Cronkies.
Yeah, but not them. Not them.
I was Cronkies out for a long time.
But
now it's at the point I can't. If we don't win the title this season, I can't blame the Cronkies for that. They've backed Arteta. They've backed Edu. The facilities have been they've come good. I would say they're an example of coming good.
Yeah, I don't know, bro, because they said
are coming good now.
Mate, not after 17 years. The damage is done. You can't have a missus that's been cheating for you for 17 years, or taking all your money and ripping you apart, and then coming after
Jokes
1
on
year.
I don't have any, Borce.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying in general, you know, I mean, for the people that are in the comments, you know, and then
you've got more subs than us. You're the one making coin, right?
1 year she's faithful and you know she doesn't take your money and gives everything you want. And at the end of the day, it's time to get rid. You know what I mean? But it happens everywhere. The Glazer outs are always the chance is still there after every full-time whistle. The banners get taken from the front of the stadium every time people trying to walk in. So let's dead that one there. I know there's people, you are going to get them fans that straight away we lose and it's Glazer out. It's their fault. No, they weren't in the goals. They weren't in our defense. They weren't up front against Liverpool. They weren't playing. So the players and the manager need to take the stick for that. But what's happened to our club, to why we're at this point, it's all their fault. All of it. So the quicker we get rid of them, the better, bro. And let's leave that one there because
keep twerking for that Qatari money, bro.
I
feel you're getting it. I feel you're getting it. Listen, I'm tired. It's been a big week. You can't say that I backed out. You wanted your time. I've given you 40 minutes of it. Do you feel better now, though? Are you happier? Because I've been fighting. Everyone's coming for me, bro.
Until you drop the Glazers again and another pod, I might have to drive to you personally and jump in that behind that Henri shirt there and pop out and be like, hey, if you don't want to send me the link.
I'll see you on Monday night. But no, man, everyone's coming for me. That's it. I felt like Mario Balotelli with the Why Always Me today. I don't know. Check your Twitter, man. I've even been beefing with RJ today. The Joker's trying to claim Cesc Fabregas as a Chelsea legend. I'm like, man, relax. He didn't even want to come back. Arsene Wenger came out and said we were offered him first and said no thanks. It's like me claiming Petr Cech as an Arsenal legend. Get out of here, RJ. But he'll get his on Monday night. Don't you worry.
I'll be there watching, mate. Don't worry.
Nah, until then, brother, take care. Who you got this week? You got Batiste. You going to beat him?
Yeah. We'll wrap the first leg up, and then we'll go put 8 past Southampton, or maybe 10, and get the record and say, hey, we're just a blip.
That's it. Just a blip. It is, righto. Take care, everyone. Thanks for joining us. This is it. 7 rounds are done. The gloves are off. It was kind of friendly. I'm a bit disappointed, but check out the Football Capital. Make sure you sub. Check their content out. It's always good fun. We'll have to get down there in the studio and do something again soon, man. It's been a little bit too long between drinks.
100%, Scotty, 100%.
Take care. See you later.